Well, certainly the 2020 election stood out, just because the contentiousness of that election nationwide, and also with us having to deal with the pandemic, which meant that we were limited with the number of people that could come in the office at any one time. So we literally had lines and 2 to 2.5 hour waits for people to get in to vote in person early. If you would have been here 2 years ago on the Friday before the election, you would have probably seen the line out the door and almost all the way over to the DMV. And it was that way for several days in a row. And so that would certainly be probably the one that was most memorable as far as that. And probably the first presidential election that I did too, then in 2000, just because it was the first time I had gone through it. But then also the aftermath of that election, that happened. But if I had to probably pick one that's probably more memorable, and just because of the nature of it, was probably the 2020 presidential election. I just would, just don't be afraid to ask other people and what they do, and if there's changes that can be made. I came in thinking, I'm not going to make any changes, and we didn't make any changes for a while. But then when you start seeing how the process is done, and then you get ideas on how you can do that and do it in a different way, and maybe make it easier, make it more fiscally responsible. Certainly want to do that. I mean, we used to mail all of our absentee ballots out in a big envelope that was about like this because it fit the sheet of the ballot. And we were finally able to get, and that was because our vote counting machines couldn't read ballots that were folded. They would jam in the machines. Well, there was finally a machine now that reads folded ballots, and you don't have to worry about it. And so we were able to fold ballots, put them in a smaller envelope, and mail them for a much lower price than when it was $1 something for the large envelope. And it's I think 50 some cents now to mail a ballot. So we were fiscally able to change that. So certainly I know I came in and made changes, and I expect other people to make changes after I'm here as well, because you see things differently and that way. So.